That's called white guilt.
No, let it talk, bro.
My son, let me finish. I gave you your time. You take my son's face off your website. I am not associated with you.
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir. You are creating more Austin Metcalfs
Black
with your
man here,
weakness.
you are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak. Condemn your son's killer and the culture that caused it.
Hey, Jeff.
That's the problem. You've been submitted.
You've been submitted. I'll handle it from here.
You've been submitted.
When I first caught wind about the Austin Metcalf protest that was going down today, I was extremely skeptical, to say the least. I even put out multiple videos warning people that I thought this may be some sort of psyop, some sort of Fed trap. And at the time of me recording those videos, I was unsure of who was really organizing this protest. And at the time of this recording, I'm still unsure of who may have their hands on this situation behind the scenes. But at least for now, a guy by the name of Jake Lang, I believe, he has stepped forward and he has asserted himself as like the leader of this protest, the leader of this movement, or whatever you want to call it. So once he did that, I figured I should try to find out a little bit more about this guy. So I watched a couple of interviews that he's done. I watched one that he did with Jason Whitlock as he was on the way to the protest. And I can't say that I disagree with a lot of the points that he was making. I've made some of the same points here on my channel. And as someone who has been defending Austin Metcalf, I can't look at this guy and say, how dare you defend Austin Metcalf? How dare you quote real crime statistics? How dare you acknowledge a real problem, right? And I also agree with the right to protest. Regardless if I agree with the protest or not, it's your right as an American to protest peacefully. And the 7 or 8 people who showed up to this protest in support of Jake Lang and whatever, they all demonstrated peacefully. They were all there peacefully. They didn't hurt anyone. Now, a couple of the people who were there to support Karmelo Anthony, they were arrested. One of them had a knife and assaulted someone, which I guess is to be expected at this point, right? That's kind of how they get down, I guess. But everything else was peaceful. And, even though I support the right to protest, I can't say that I support the right to protest in someone else's dead kid's name that hasn't given you their consent. I think it's distasteful to hold a protest or a rally or a demonstration in the name of someone else's child who was murdered without that person giving you their blessing, without that person letting you know, hey, I'm okay with this, I want this to happen, or whatever. Because if the Metcalf family wanted there to be peaceful demonstrations and protests in their kid's name, I think that would be a good thing, and I would support that. But it's not what they want. And I think even though we have the right to our own opinion, we can share those opinions like I'm sharing here, we shouldn't go out and protest in someone else's kid's name without them saying, hey, I'm okay with this. I give you my blessing. You have my consent. Now, if Jake wanted to have a Protect White Americans protest on his own that wasn't directly tied to Austin Metcalf, that would be different. But Austin Metcalf's name is right there front and center. His picture is plastered right there front and center. And regardless if you agree with Jake's points or not, what really matters here is how Austin's family feels. Because Austin's family, regardless if you agree with them or not, they should have the last say-so when it comes to anything involving the child that they just lost. But we can sit here and talk about our feelings when it comes to whether this protest should have happened or not all day. The reality is that it happened. It's already happened now, right? And at the end of this protest, there was a conversation between Jake Lang and Austin Metcalf's father. And you heard a portion of that conversation at the beginning of this video. And, regardless if you support the protest, you don't support the protest, regardless if you agree with some of Jake's points or not, regardless of how you feel about Austin Metcalf's father's response to this whole entire situation, you do not talk to a parent in the way Jake Lang did. We're all entitled to our own thoughts and opinions. And trust me, I have my own. I haven't necessarily, agreed with some of the things that Austin Metcalf's father has said, or I don't necessarily, I don't know how to explain it. I don't necessarily see eye to eye with how he's handled the situation. I feel like I would have handled it differently, right? We all have our own thoughts and opinions. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't talk to someone that just lost a child in this manner. You don't talk to someone who is going through a tragic situation like this. And let me tell you something. Regardless of how you feel about Austin Metcalf's response to this situation, you may think he's had a weak response to his child being murdered. Maybe that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But Austin Metcalf's father is not a weak man. A weak man wouldn't be able to handle what Austin Metcalf's father is handling right now. And it takes more strength the older and wiser you grow in life. And listen, I'm still kind of young. I'm still kind of a hothead. I still got a lot of growing and learning to do in life. Austin Metcalf's father is, of course, older than I am. Maybe wiser than I am. I can't speak to his character. But I've learned enough about life to know that it takes more strength, at least in some situations, and situations like this, it takes more strength to show restraint than it does to just go off the rails. I think it's easy to just go off the rails and just freaking let loose. It would be really easy for Austin's dad to do that. But he's stronger than that. If you want to talk about someone being weak, you want to know who's weak? It's Karmelo Anthony's father. The clown in the bow tie that stands in the corner and allows his wife to play victim as they don't take any accountability for what their son did. That's weak. That's what a real weak man looks like. I don't necessarily agree with Austin Metcalf's father's response, but it's not a weak response. I don't think there is a such thing as a weak response in this situation. Hell, if you're able to hold yourself together, you're stronger than me. You're able to show up to this press conference where this family who has lied about your son constantly and they're playing the victim now, you're able to show up to this press conference and show restraint and just stand there calm, cool, and collected. That's strength. You might not agree with it. It might not be the type of strength that you're used to seeing, that you're used to seeing put on display. It's not the brutal strength that some people want. Yeah, just go in there like freaking Die Hard Bruce Willis style. But it's a strength that many people will never know. Maybe I will never know. Hopefully we never have to test our strength in the way Austin's father has had to. So I just wanted to flesh out my thoughts on that a little bit, because I do have mixed feelings about the whole entire situation, but I definitely don't agree with how Jake talked to Austin Metcalf's father. But after that exchange, the protest ended pretty quickly, largely uneventful. But apparently Jake is still in Frisco, Texas. And I don't know how to feel about what he's doing right now. I'm just going to read to you all his words instead of mine. This is what he just posted. And there's a video too, and we're going to watch it in just a moment. He says right here, I just broke into the stadium and got the first ever footage of Austin Metcalf's blood stained on the stadium floor still. His blood cries out for justice. Lock up Karmelo Anthony now. So his words, not mine. I'm not there. I don't know what's going on. He claims that he has broken into the stadium and to the track field where Austin Metcalf was murdered. And he posted a video. It's not like he's hiding it. He provided evidence that he did this. But he broke into the stadium and he filmed what appears to be Austin Metcalf's dried blood still on the ground in the stadium. And I kind of wish I didn't see it. I have the video here. I'm going to play it for you guys so you guys see what I'm talking about. But before I do that, people often ask, how can they support the channel? And the answer to that question is very, very simple. You can support the channel in multiple ways for free by liking the video, sharing the video on social media, dropping a comment and becoming part of the conversation, and of course, ringing that notification bell. But if you want to take your support one step further, you could always send a super thanks or a Cash App, always greatly appreciated. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and roll this clip. You guys let me know how you feel about it, and then I'm going to be right back with more thoughts.
Stadium. There's the blood stain. There is the blood stain. It's red still. Austin Metcalf's blood. Lord Jesus, help us. It's crying out for justice. His killer is home right now. I got to get out of here before the police come. I just hopped the fence to get in here. His blood is crying out for justice. We need that killer behind bars. We will not rest. We need to protect white Americans. This scourge of black violence is too much. Kendall Stadium. We need to uplift our communities. I got to get out of here, guys. I think I hear the cops coming.
Look, you guys know I want justice for Austin Metcalf. You guys know that I am here to stand against what Karmelo Anthony did. I'm here to stand against the people who are supporting him. I've been here standing against all of the racists who have been attacking Austin Metcalf's family, who have been spreading lies on Austin Metcalf's name. I've been here doing all of that. I am in no way, shape, or form sympathetic towards Karmelo Anthony or his family at all. Not in the least bit. I think they're disgusting. I absolutely despise how they have handled the situation thus far, and I know for sure they're going to get even worse. I know that for sure it's coming. And one of the reasons why I know that's coming is because of some of the stuff that we saw today. Because it doesn't matter, and I keep saying this, it doesn't matter how you feel about it. right? What's going to happen is that some of the stuff that's happened today is going to be used as ammo for Carmelo Anthony's activist supporters who are already trying to paint some sort of narrative that, oh, it's all a big racial thing and everyone's against Carmelo's family. It's not going to be a fair trial. We need to move the trial here. We can't have... It's going to be something, okay? I do believe that sometimes... How can I put this? We live in a cruel world, a dog-eat-dog world, a harsh world. And sometimes people need to see the reality of it, right? Sometimes, yeah, maybe that's disgusting, that's shocking. Don't show this. We shouldn't see this. But sometimes maybe people need to see something for something to really sink in, for them to really understand, how severe a problem is or something along those lines, right? I get that. But breaking into this field and making a scene out of it, he says the police are coming or something. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I feel like there's a better way to go about this entire situation. I feel like people should be expressing themselves. I've told you this so many times on this channel. People need to speak up and speak out. You don't have to go act out, right? Just allow your voices to be heard. And I do think that will start to make things at least a little better, right? There's steps, there's a process to everything. You're not supposed to go from 0 to 100. But I'm just worried about what type of antics, what may happen next, what this guy may do. And even if in his mind he's doing it in the defense of Austin Metcalf, even if in his mind he's doing it for a just cause, and I've said I don't disagree with a lot of his talking points, and I can't disagree with statistics. Numbers don't lie. Numbers and statistics, that's not an opinion. Some of the arguments that are being made here, they're not opinions. It's not my opinions that crime statistics are this way. This is just what the statistics show. So I'm not a hater of this guy. I'm not trying to convince anyone else to hate this guy or bash this guy. But I just know that everything that's happening, this video that you saw, all of it, I don't think any of it's going to be used to help out Austin Metcalf. It's going to be used to hurt Austin Metcalf. And I'm hoping we don't see anything crazy or anything too stupid. But seeing as people are breaking into the track field and stuff like that, you just never know what may happen next. But for now, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.